ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, likers, dislikers, commenters, new subscribers, old subscribers, just generally anybody who watches these videos. Welcome back. What can I say, people? Welcome back to a normal half-cocked video. Oh, it has literally been the busiest 3 or 4 weeks that I have ever known. So much, so much went on. It was unbelievable. Well, first and foremost, we'll get the obligatory yawn in there. Probably only part of the morning where I get an advantage now. But hopefully in a few months' time I'll have that sorted. Hopefully my commute will be a hell of a lot shorter. So where have I been? What have I been doing? Oh well, guys, as I've said before, I'm doing a driving theory test. Second time I've done it, failed it. I failed it by one. One multiple choice question. Well, I probably failed it by loads of multiple choice questions, but to get a pass, I needed to basically get one more question right, and I didn't. Doubled my hazard perception. Well, I didn't double my hazard perception, but did 10 or 15 more, 10 or 15 better in my hazard perception. While during that, we got invited on a lovely trip out with my girlfriend's auntie, uncle and cousin on their lovely boat down in Enniskillen, and it was a great time. Prior to that, I decided in the middle of doing my theory tests that when I knew we were going out in the boat was, here, how about I propose to my girlfriend? Because why not? Everything was hard enough as it was beforehand. Why not make it extra specially spicy? So yeah, on the first time I went in to look for a ring, my first time I went in to do the driving theory test, I went ring shopping as you do in town as a man. And then, oh, it's extra windy today. Go faster. And then obviously the second time I went in, the trip was coming up, so I went and bought a ring. Then managed to organise with her aunt, uncle, dad and mum doing it on the boat trip, because, you know, romantic as hell, me. And then tried to keep it a secret for 3 weeks because she wanted a surprise. Imagine wanting a surprise from someone who generally quite can't keep surprises. I'd like to say this is the trickiest part of my morning, but a-hole be a-holing. So yeah, got it all planned. Got her an after party the next day planned. Down in Enniskillen, got on the boat, went across to Devonish Island. Got off the boat, went for well, we sat in the boat for about half an hour because it was raining. Enniskillen, it always rains. And went for a walk around Devonish. Got a lovely, not a guided tour, but lovely guy standing on the island telling us a hell of a lot about an island. Which was a great cover for me to slip the ring from one coat into my back pocket. Once that was done, walked up the island, round the tower, into the tower, and then walked to the back of the tower where I got down on one knee. had a nice thing to say to her, to ask her, and as soon as the ring box opened, my brain went to absolute poo. Started bawling like a 4-year-old. Well, actually, everybody started bawling. can't really knock that, like. But as I was doing it, I was highly aware that another boat had turned up, and I'm not the great with public speaking and speaking with big crowds. Like, this is about as public I get with my life and speaking about it. The boat stopped, and like 30, 40 Americans all get off the boat. I was like, uh-oh. So, done it, everybody's crying, and I do have to admit, everybody did congratulate us, which was bonkers. There's like 30 of them. And every time someone looked and asked what was going on, someone else told them. This little old lady American, God love her, came up to us and went, "Oh my God, this great news, congratulations, we've got 2 priests with us." You what? 2 priests on the boat with the Americans. I was like, oh no, go away. No, it was lovely. We went out for something to eat afterwards. Obviously, had to get her then to phone everybody. So she FaceTimed everybody that needed to. What the abs? What the fuck off? There's a guy on a scooter on a motorway. So yeah, I got that done. Had a meal. Had a few more drinks. And then I went and seen her dad, who quite conveniently was staying down in the same campsite at their boat. Went, seen him again the next morning, went for breakfast with her auntie and uncle, and then went to her aunt's. Her aunt didn't actually know. I went and actually seen her granny and her aunt afterwards, which her granny, her auntie was over the moon, so was her granny. I'll be having that. So basically, on the way home, I had to keep her out of the house for as long as possible, because I had also organised for her friends to be at the house for when we arrived home. Obviously, the trip home from Enniskillen is always the worst part of going to Enniskillen and coming home. So we went and seen her mum. Their mum wasn't able to get down. And then we went and see my mum, who was going to come down, but there was a timing issue, and Lisa was getting a bit tired and wanted to go home. Needed to keep her out of the house till a certain time, so pulled out the "I'm interviewing this YouTuber at this o'clock, we need to stay out until that time." She was kind of suspicious, but kind of threw that off again. And then got her to the party, where all her friends were. Well, most all of her friends were. So, great success. Yeah, it's now I tell you, see, after I done it, I slept like a log. People who say they don't get nervous, liars. Absolute liars. You will get fucking nervous. whether you like it or not. The Friday beforehand was a bit like Christmas Eve as a child. I just didn't sleep. So very wrecked and very nervous was the mood of that Saturday. And our cousin, our cousin was an absolute legend. She is a photographer by trade, and she said she would bring her camera, and I was specifically very concerned that I don't want someone working outside of their hours of work, because I know what it's like trying to get me to work outside my hours of work. She said that she would bring her camera, and as soon as she seen me making the move, she was snapping pictures left, right and centre, and absolutely appreciated it. It gives Lisa something to look at and remind herself on how to be happy. Not how to be happy, but if she's ever feeling down, she can look at them. So yeah, to say, the last few weeks have been a bit intense is an understatement. How's the bike going? Still going. I've now lost the 5th gear indicator, which I do know what it is. I have the part in the house for several months now, and I just haven't been bothered to fit it. So obviously, the pre-thought about plan about going to either Donington or Scotland in the next 2 weeks, or 2 weeks time, is out of the picture, because your boy is skint. So I'm going to go and do a couple of biker hotspots. I got my theory test again in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. To get that done. Just been all go, go, go. So yeah, it's been fairly busy. Still am pretty busy with the whole other thing that I'm dealing with at the minute. I haven't had a different job yet. I'm just going a different way. The one day I go a different way and the traffic's probably worse here. And obviously the weather's changing. So it's nearly that time that you're not allowed to speak of, because they get upset that you're talking about them. So they start arguing about which is better. You know, all year or half a year.